So today I'm going to show you guys how we tile this shower flooring. Okay, we also tiled the ceiling, you can see. So first of all, you're going to need some porcelain tile mortar. If you're using porcelain in a shower, use porcelain tile mortar. Now you can see right here, we've got porcelain tile right here. It's very shiny. We're putting the shiny glossy stuff on the walls. And then we're gonna put the same exact tile, but it's not shiny, on the floor, so it's a little bit more slip proof. So there's your tile. It was about $2 and I don't know, 40 cents a square foot or something like that. It's a little high, but I like having that marble look. Secondly, you're going to need a dry tile saw. And this has a little tiny circle right there. You can see it. And it's got titanium on it, and it will cut the top of the tile, then you can pop it. You're also going to need a wet cutting saw like this. You're going to need quite a few buckets, a mixer. You're going to need a bucket with some foam, sponges. You're also going to need a drill with a diamond blade tip for your shower spray nozzle for your shower. Okay, and you may need some chargers and things like that. You're also going to need a trowel to be able to scrape and put the mud on the wall. And probably you'll also need a triangle. You're going to need some of these corner tile spacers. You're going to need a scraper to get any mud off the wall if you make mistakes. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is you want to make sure that when you're in this bathroom shower, you look and see where your cut edges, where you want your cuts to be. I want to have a full piece here going vertical, 1, 2, 3, and then we'll have a cut one right here on the end. In the back, we're gonna have one in the middle and then 2 cut ones on the side, just to make it look asymmetrical, or symmetrical, I mean. And then on this side, we're gonna have 1 full, 2, 3. On the top, it's gonna go and it's going to be, I think what we'll do here is split this thing to where it's right in the middle. And so it's gonna be the same as these side ones coming down, 1, 2, 3. It'll be matching with those. Typically when you're doing tile like this, you wanna put most of your cuts behind other pieces of tile. Like for example, if you're gonna put a full piece right here, if you're gonna put a full piece there like that, you wanna make sure to put your cut piece in first so that full piece can go and sit back over that cut so that you won't see that whenever you're looking here in the shower. So the first thing we're gonna do is put these back ones on. We're gonna put a row of these back ones on. We're gonna start with the bottom, go all the way around, and then we'll go up to the next one. And that's how we'll do this. Another thing you're gonna need is some shims for the bottom here to be able to set this up a little bit off of the ground so that you have some wiggle room to move to make this all straight at some point. And what we're gonna do is put these boxes here so that we don't step and mess up all this new flooring that we've done. So always save your extra boxes if you have tiling to do, but also you can use these boxes. You can use these cut off pieces of flooring to set up those tiles and use for shims. So before you throw all this stuff away, try to do your tiling so that you can use your boxes here as shims for your tile. So we're gonna go ahead and start here. So it looks like we have Let's see, about how much is it? 9.5. So it's gonna be 9 3/8 basically is where we're starting. 9 3/8. 9 3/8. 9 3/8. Okay, so what you're gonna do is go ahead and you'll put this first one here. That's where it's gonna be. Then you can cut these side pieces as well. So that's gonna be 9 1/4. 9 1/4, because you gotta leave a gap in the middle. And it's always pretty important to go ahead and see what's going on here at the bottom too, because it's usually smaller at the bottom. So yeah, see, 9 1/4 is gonna be too small down there. So go ahead and cut these about 9 1/8 should be perfect. 9 1/8. So on the bottom it'll be 9 1/8. On the top it'll be 9 1/4. 9 1/8. And what I would probably do is just go ahead, since it's going to be covered up, you can just go ahead and do it in 9 1/8 all the way up. So there's your 9 1/8, just like that. Here's your 9 1/8, 9 1/8, just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and bring my tile saw in here so I can get this cut and everything without moving. You may want to go ahead and buy a few of these titanium circles, because you will notice throughout your project those can break, and if it does, that really puts your project on slow motion, because this is so much faster than the wet saw out there. Okay, probably could be twice as fast to be able to cut this way than it is to cut out that way. So basically you're gonna go ahead and you start at the end, you push down lightly and then slowly score all the way across, just like that. Then you can use this rubber thing to push down. Don't push too hard, but you can push down and it will break this piece off. You may use that piece later, so go ahead and save it. Perfect, then you can get your next piece, put your tape measure on your hip, so you're not losing everything all the time. And cut your next piece. Here we go. Put that one in. There we go. Now you got your two end pieces of tile. Now typically when you're tiling, not typically but always, you want to put your uncut edge next to your uncut edge. And so you always want to put your cut edges on the side. So there's my cut edge here, there's my cut edge there. We're putting those on the side. And now we're ready to go ahead and start mudding. And like I said, I like to go ahead and put this bottom layer a little bit tall so that you have some space to move. Okay, you have some space to move it as you move forward, and you'll notice the reason why that's important here in a second. Now, you just mixed that mud about 5 minutes ago. You want to go ahead and mix it one more time. You need to let this stuff sit, then mix one second time, and you'll notice just how perfectly mixed that is. Just look at that consistency. That's about how much you want it. You want it to come off your stick nicely, but you don't want it to be so thick that you can't put it on the wall very easy. The next thing is you'll use one of these to clean your thing off. So now it's clean, you can go straight to work. Now you're gonna be doing a lot of tiling, so make sure you get a bucket or something that you can sit on. When you're putting your when you're putting your mud on these tiles, to keep it from being extremely sloppy, the best way I've noticed to do this is to hold the tile in your hand when you're doing shower tiles. When I'm doing flooring tile, I'll put the mud on the wall first, but when I'm doing shower tile, I put the mud on the tile first. The mud is typically a little bit wetter, just so that it really gets to hold to that wall good. And then I'll scrape it from the middle out like this. Then you'll take one of these sponges, squeeze it out, and then at the very end you'll make this little, go ahead and wipe this around on all sides. And you'll see why that's important when you're grouting. So go ahead and put this first one on here, right in the center. You already marked it. And really, you know, get some movement on it so that it sticks really good, especially these shower wall tiles. You want those to stick really good. And then do the same thing for all these other tiles. Now you have these tile spacers here, the two-sided four-corner view. And the reason why you have these is because these will go right here in this corner. Now you'll notice this one's too tall here, and this is why I like to set it up. Because what you can do now is you can take that one out, and you can add something like this. That's not quite as tall as what you have right there. Take that out, put this in, and then see, now you have a flat, flush one. Perfect. Now if you ever have a part like this, if you ever have a part that comes through like that, just go ahead and push it all the way over, scrape it up, and then push it back out. Just like that. So basically your goal in tiling is make sure you're flush here. So make sure you're flush here. You can see that one is a little low. So what you would do at the bottom here is go ahead and raise this whole piece of tile and add something under it. Also, the goal is to make sure it's not separated like this one. Okay, so make sure it's pushed together. And also, you want to make sure that it's flushed this way. If this one's sticking out further than that one, it's going to look funky as well. So that's the whole goal of tiling, is to fix all those tiny little issues. So we got the bottom row on. You can see we put a bunch of shims underneath to make it to where it's flush. And we're going to be flush all the way around. And now we're going to move to the next thing. I went ahead and mixed another bucket It's a little thicker because I'm going to be doing the ceiling and I want it to be able to really hold. Not a lot thicker, but a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this row, and then I'm going to do the ceiling, and then I'm going to measure those pieces and cut them that go up to the ceiling. So in this little spot, I did have to come out and put more mud behind there to make this come out and be even. Just be always ready to do that so you can make this stuff flat. So now we're going to put the ceiling tiles on, and what we're doing is we're making those to where they will line up this direction. And what we're doing, we have the mud a little bit thicker so it'll stick really good. But what we're doing is, instead of putting one full one here so we have a cut one there, we're putting one full one, but we're cutting it in half so it'll be centered. So I'm measuring this total, which was 30 3/4. And that's what we're doing. We're cutting each one of these 15 1/4 so that there's a gap in the middle. And it gets a little smaller on this side. So on this side, we're actually cutting it 15 1/8 to be able to put that one in. So as they go, we're cutting them a little less. And yeah, so that's how you would do it, put the ceiling tiles on. I do like the look of having the ceiling tile in the shower. Just make sure you're using the porcelain tile mortar, the strongest, the best type of mortar. If you're not, you're gonna end up falling into the possibility of these tiles coming off at some point. So basically you're gonna go up second row, start this one first, then do the walls again, then do that one first, then do the walls again. And basically you're repeating this process all the way up, making sure you're still straight. And you'll notice as you get to the second row, you're gonna have to manipulate those bottom ones again just because of the weight and things like that. 9 1/4, 9 1/2. There we go. Very straight with that one. Everything's looking good. So we went ahead and cut those right in the middle. We finished putting those up there. Then we also cut these two there and there and put those in. And then we also cut these for the sides. Put this down right here. We did have to take a oscillating tool and cut the sheetrock right here to make that fit in, to make it exactly 6 5/8 inches and to make that flush at the top. Now we're gonna go ahead and put these right here on the bottom. We're gonna put the side ones on first, and then the top one will go on top so that the water flow will flow over the tile. And then the last thing we're gonna do is put in this tile on the floor here, and it won't be near as glossy as this tile that is in the shower. Sorry we lost our battery power, so you didn't see the rest of that, but get this last part here. So put the cut end towards the wall. And just really squish it up there good. It's extremely important, extremely important. Now I'm gonna go and do this bathroom. Typically what you wanna do is you wanna have the biggest tiles over here and any cutoffs over there where you're not really gonna see them. So we'll start with a full tile and go that way. Also, this bathroom, we do have some uneven surfaces, so we're gonna put this mud a little thicker than we normally would, possibly. So we got it finished. Everything looks good. Shower. It did take a good day to do all this. So just plan on at least probably 7 hours to finish a project like this, and we still have the shower base to do. So there it is, and we still have to grout, so probably a good another half of a day anyway to finish this.